Because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing...
You will tell it?
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it.
The same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons.
Grab your popcorn, folks, because Katt Williams has been on a roll with some juicy revelations. His latest bombshell is about Fulio's tragic demise and a shocking claim that record labels might be cashing in on the rapper's death or even playing a part in them. Katt's no stranger to exposing Hollywood's dark secrets. Remember when he first called out Diddy as a criminal, labeled Kevin Hart as an industry plant, and accused Jermaine Dupri of some pretty serious stuff? Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now he's saying that some of these high-profile deaths in the rap world might be staged by the big labels themselves to rake in huge profits. And guess what? He claims to have solid evidence to back it up. Curious about what he said? Stick around because we've got a lot to unpack. In case you missed it, rapper Charles Jones, better known as Julio Foolio, was celebrating his 26th birthday in Tampa when things took a tragic turn.
Are at the center of an investigation to find out why famous rapper Julio Foolio, who just turned 26, was shot dead early this morning.
Fulio had rented an Airbnb for his birthday bash, but the host asked him to leave because there were too many guests. So Fulio and his friends moved to a hotel. Unfortunately, they were ambushed there by an unknown group. In a shocking twist, just hours after Fulio's death, his rival, Young and Ace, released a diss track called Do It and tweeted something that seemed to mock Fulio's death. Then, just 6 days later, Ace dropped another diss track titled Game Over, featuring a prominent Don Julio bottle at the start, possibly flaunting his confidence and bravado. It's safe to say that this whole incident was part of the gang's feud. For context, Fulio was no stranger to controversy. He was known for his diss tracks, even going as far as dancing on the graves of his rivals in his music videos. He didn't hold back, often shooting videos in cemeteries and his own hood. In one of his diss tracks, Fulio even joked about someone being taken out on their birthday. So, is it just a coincidence that Fulio met his own end on his own birthday? Well, nobody knows. However, we all know that rap music and bloodshed often go hand in hand, especially in gangster rap and drill. Someone recently said that being a rap artist is the most dangerous job in the world, even more dangerous than going to war in Iraq. You're always on defense, constantly watching your back, never knowing who might try to do something to you. It's no wonder that labels take out life insurance on artists. It's not just music labels. Many industries insure their employees. Mariah Carey's vocal cords and J-Lo's booty are insured, so it's not surprising that rap labels do the same. But in an industry as exploitive as this one, you can't help but wonder about their motives. And for those who don't know, it's not just about leaving you dead, it's also about leaving you in a mountain of debt. Here's how it typically works. When an artist signs a record deal, they receive an advance, which is a lump sum intended to cover initial expenses and entice the artist. This advance, however, is a loan that must be repaid through future earnings. For instance, if a deal is worth $2 million and the artist gets an advance of $500,000, they immediately owe the label that amount. The label encourages spending this advance on things like moving expenses, designer clothes, and flashy cars, all to enhance the artist's image. This spending spree plunges the artist into debt right from the start. Then comes the production phase. Recording in top studios can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, further eating into the artist's advance. Let's say studio time alone costs $200,000. Now the artist, who started with $1.5 million after the advance, is down to $1.3 million and owes $700,000. Adding the costs of beats and production, which can easily tally another $300,000, leaves the artist with just $1 million while still owing $1 million. The label's involvement doesn't end there. They manage marketing and promotion, critical for selling records but expensive. Marketing strategies include paying for placement on streaming playlists and buying commercial airtime on radio stations, all aimed at boosting an artist's visibility and sales. These expenses, often in the hundreds of thousands, are deducted from any potential profits the artist might see. In essence, while the artist may see a large sum up front, it's quickly swallowed by costs that the label controls and dictates. This financial arrangement leaves many artists in perpetual debt to the label, struggling to recoup expenses and make a substantial living from their music. The lure of fame and fortune, painted so enticingly by labels, often masks the harsh reality of financial dependency and artistic compromise. And if you don't pay off your debt with your own music, these music labels supposedly profit from your death to settle the entire amount. To get a clearer picture, we need to peel back the layers. We've all seen those social media posts showing off mansions with infinity pools, Kim K in her latest Balenciaga outfit, or Rihanna jetting off on a private plane. It looks glamorous, but there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. It's postmodern exploitation, a fancy way of saying the industry uses and oppresses its artists. They lure in young, hopeful stars with promises of fame and riches, only to trap them in a twisted game of chess. The music industry is ruthless, feeding off the dreams of its victims like a parasite. They pressure, trick, or leave them with no choice but to comply. And Katt Williams has been warning us for years. If you don't play by their rules, you could end up 6 feet under, branded as crazy or locked up. Fulio's tragic fate is a chilling example of this ruthless reality. It's said that music labels actually let these disturbing diss tracks get released, knowing they can provoke the other side. They don't even protect their artists because they have them insured. The company makes more money from their deaths than they ever could from their music. Let's take a look at some of the artists on Empire Records. In the past 5 years, Empire has lost 6 rappers. And there's a disturbing pattern. These rappers were either shot or stabbed. Fans have noticed this eerie trend and can't look away. Let's start with King Von. His death made people wonder if Empire Records was making money from their artists' lives. Just a week after he released his first album, King Von was shot and killed. It all started out as a fun night in Atlanta, but turned into a terrible tragedy. He was hanging out with his friends at Monaco Hookah Lounge when a fight broke out with another group. Video from that night shows the fight moving outside, and just as King Von was throwing punches, gunshots rang out. He was hit, and the noise brought the police. King Von died early on November 6, 2020. Everyone in O Block paid tribute to King Von, seeing him as one of their best.
It hurt us. It hurt us a lot. I cried. Some of my friends cried. He had a big influence on us, a really big influence.
After he died, Empire Records said, "We're heartbroken about King Von dying too soon. He was a loving dad, a great person in his community, and an amazing talent who was just starting out. Von faced a lot growing up, but he never forgot how to help his community. Our hearts go out to his family, friends, team, and fans during this hard time." It's unfortunate that the other group was also there at that time, but the whole situation is just messed up. Now let's talk about another rapper named Young Dolph. Young Dolph was under his independent label, Paper Route Empire, but he also had connections with Empire Records at the time of his death. This ties his tragic passing to the other mysterious deaths under the Empire Records label. On a regular afternoon at Makita's Butter Cookie Bakery, Young Dolph walked in when suddenly 2 men drove up and opened fire, tragically ending his life with multiple bullets. Fans believe Young Dolph's tragic fate was planned, with several individuals, including figures associated with Empire Records, speculated to have motives. P&B Rock was another rapper associated with Empire Records who met a tragic end. Already an independent artist, he had just released his single, Love Me Again, a week before his death in September 2022. Like other rappers under the Empire Records label, P&B Rock's death raised suspicions of darker forces at play, possibly benefiting the record label financially from his demise. On September 12, 2022, P&B Rock was having lunch with his girlfriend at Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles in South Los Angeles when a 17-year-old gunman entered and demanded their belongings. Despite complying, P&B Rock was shot in the chest. The suspects, identified as a father-son duo, fled the scene with the father still at large. P&B Rock has since been laid to rest. Mo3, a Dallas rapper, was also part of Empire Records and tragically lost his life on November 11, 2020. He was involved in a drive-by shooting on Interstate 35 in Dallas, where he was fatally wounded by multiple gunshots. Following his passing, Empire Records released a statement mourning the loss of Dallas's own Mo3, vowing to carry on his legacy with the same energy he shared with the world, Sounds fishy, right? Next up is XXXtentacion. His tragic death in 2018 sent shockwaves through the music world and raised troubling questions about safety and security in the rap industry, particularly under the auspices of Empire Records. When XXXtentacion, known for his raw talent and controversial persona, ventured out to buy a new motorcycle after visiting a bank, little did he know that his life would be cut short in an aggressive encounter that mirrored a scene from a crime drama. Leaving the dealership around 4 p.m., he was abruptly blocked by an SUV, its occupant swiftly emerging to rob him before fatally shooting him multiple times. The brazen attack stunned onlookers and fans alike, who struggled to come to terms with the loss of an artist known for pushing boundaries in both his music and personal life. Despite desperate attempts to save him, XXXtentacion succumbed to his injuries after a harrowing hour of fighting for his life in the hospital.
Surveillance cameras captured the ambush of rapper XXXtentacion as he prepared to leave a Deerfield Beach motorcycle dealership last June. The cameras show a vehicle block the rapper's exit, and then men jump out of the vehicle and confront XXXtentacion.
Following his death, XXXtentacion's record label released his third studio album, Skins, in December 2018, followed by Bad Vibes Forever in December 2019. These posthumous releases were met with mixed reactions. While some fans appreciated hearing new music from their beloved artist, others criticized the albums as incomplete and commercially driven, lacking his personal touch and artistic direction. Critics argue that the rush to release posthumous albums exploited XXXtentacion's legacy for profit, focusing more on capitalizing on his death than preserving his artistic integrity. The ethical implications of releasing unfinished or unreleased work after an artist's deaths continue to be a point of contention in the music industry. Turning to Draco the Ruler, the rap scene in California was plunged into sorrow and disbelief in December 2021. Draco, a rising star known for his distinctive style and gritty lyrics, met a tragic end during a Once Upon a Time concert in L.A. As he prepared backstage at the Bank of California Stadium, a heated altercation erupted, quickly escalating into bloodshed. Caught in the chaos, Draco was fatally stabbed in the neck, captured in a chilling 35-second video that circulated widely, highlighting the shocking vulnerability of artists even in supposedly secure settings. Rushed to the hospital in critical condition, Draco's passing underscored the precarious nature of fame and success in the music industry. His death added another layer of complexity to the ongoing narrative surrounding Empire Records, where several artists have met untimely deaths under mysterious circumstances. Speculation and rumors swirled, suggesting that jealousy and industry rivalries might have played a role in Draco's tragic fate. Another artist that seems to fit the whole ordeal is Tupac Shakur, often regarded as one of the greatest rappers of all time, who left an indelible mark on the music industry with his powerful lyrics, social commentary, and charismatic persona. Born in 1971, Tupac rose to fame in the early 1990s with albums like Tupacalypse Now, Strictly for My Niggas, and Me Against the World, which showcased his lyrical prowess and ability to tackle complex themes such as racism, social injustice, and inner-city struggles. However, Tupac's career was marred by controversies, legal troubles, and a tumultuous personal life, which often intersected with his public persona. His involvement in the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry, particularly with the notorious B.I.G., or Biggie Smalls, added to his mystique and fueled speculation about his life and legacy. Tragically, Tupac's life was cut short when he was fatally shot in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas in September 1996. He was only 25 years old at the time of his death. Tupac's incident remains unsolved to this day, leading to numerous conspiracy theories and ongoing debates about the circumstances surrounding his demise. Like Tupac, Biggie Smalls was a pivotal figure in the East Coast-West Coast rivalry. His distinctive flow and storytelling ability earned him acclaim with albums like Ready to Die and Life After Death. Biggie was also killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles in March 1997, just months after Tupac's death. His tragic end remains unsolved, contributing to the mythos surrounding his life and career. The deaths of these artists not only highlighted the personal tragedies, but also sparked conversations about the pressures of fame, mental health challenges, and the often perilous lifestyle associated with the music industry. They also underscored the need for better support systems, including mental health resources and financial literacy education for artists navigating the complexities of fame and success. Moreover, the posthumous releases of music and documentaries have become a contentious issue, with debates over the artistic integrity and motivations behind these projects. While some view these releases as a way to honor the artist's legacy and provide closure for fans, others criticize them as exploitative or commercially driven. Since the dawn of the music industry, record labels have had a dual reputation. On one hand, they promise wealth and celebrity to those they sign. On the other hand, they've been criticized as ruthless entities that exploit artists for profit. The reality often lies somewhere in between. A record deal for many artists is akin to a risky loan from a loan shark, heavily favoring the label. According to Katt Williams, when an artist first signs with a label, they do not accumulate a large amount of debt, but they are also required to sign a death clause. This clause lets record labels take out life insurance on artists. It's a way for labels to protect themselves financially if something happens to an artist, like if they can't perform anymore or, sadly, if they die. Some people think it's cold-hearted to treat an artist's life like a financial asset. They say it turns tragic events into money matters and even leads to suspicions about the timing of artists' deaths. On the other hand, supporters argue it's just smart business, like any insurance policy, to protect investments and keep things running smoothly even after an artist is gone. However, these music labels seem to expedite this death clause quite efficiently. For instance, after an artist releases just one song, the next thing we know, they're 6 feet under. What's intriguing about all of this is that according to Ice Cube, these music labels have deep ties to the prison industry. In some cases, the same individuals who own music labels also have stakes in prisons. This connection implies a troubling ability to exert control over individuals, potentially even targeting their own artists under the guise of accidents or other incidents. Artists find themselves in a precarious position where speaking out could mean serious consequences, including legal repercussions that could land them behind bars.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. The records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Some records are made by committee, meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. You have, the record company pushing the narrative.
This highlights how record labels often view artists not as individuals with creative visions and personal lives, but as commodities to exploit for profit. Contracts laden with opaque clauses and skewed financial arrangements leave artists vulnerable, often trapping them in agreements that benefit the label far more than the artist. Despite these challenges, there are glimmers of hope. Labels like Top Dog Entertainment, TDE, known for nurturing talent like Kendrick Lamar and Schoolboy Q, have shown a commitment to artist development and creative freedom. But what are your thoughts on this? Comment down below. While we wait for more updates, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos for more content like this. See you there.